Rams fans, we need to talk right now because something absolutely massive just surfaced on the radar, and it could change the entire identity of our defense overnight. Imagine for a second that we are about to pull off one of those aggressive moves that our front office is famous for. You know the feeling when a superstar suddenly becomes available and the whole league starts sweating. Well, that is exactly what is happening today. We are talking about a game changer, a mountain of a man who could turn our defensive line into a complete nightmare for every single quarterback in the division. Stay with me because this developing situation is moving fast, and you won't believe who is officially on the market. Dexter Lawrence is officially shaking the foundation of the NFL today after requesting a trade from the New York Giants and skipping voluntary workouts because contract talks have completely stalled out. This is not just a small disagreement over a few dollars. This is a full-blown fracture between one of the best defensive tackles in the entire league and his current organization. Adam Schefter just confirmed that there has been zero progress on a long-term extension, and now Lawrence is making it clear he wants a fresh start somewhere that values his elite production. When a player of this caliber becomes disgruntled, every team in the league should be paying attention, but the smoke surrounding the Los Angeles Rams is getting thicker by the second. We are talking about a guy who is a true nose tackle, but has the pass-rushing moves of a much smaller man, a total unicorn in the trenches who completely disrupts game plans. For the Rams, this represents a golden opportunity to add a cornerstone piece to a defense that is always looking for that next level of dominance. Imagine the sheer power we would have in the middle of that line if our front office decides to pull the trigger on a trade of this magnitude. Lawrence is only entering his prime, and the thought of him being available is sending shockwaves through the fan base because we know how much Les Snead loves a big-time trade. But this isn't just about the talent. It is about the timing and the message it sends to the rest of the league. The Giants are backed into a corner right now because Lawrence is making it very clear he will not set foot on that field without a new deal. This creates a leverage point that a team like the Rams could exploit to bring in a truly generational talent. The speculation is reaching a fever pitch because the connection between the Rams' need for interior dominance and Lawrence's availability is just too perfect to ignore. We have seen this movie before where a star wants out and suddenly he is wearing a Rams jersey and holding up a jersey at a press conference. But as exciting as this sounds, there is a massive piece of the puzzle that we haven't even discussed yet, and it involves how this move would impact the legendary legacy of our defensive line. The ripple effect of this trade request is just beginning, and the implications for our roster are much deeper than you might think at first glance. This news is absolutely insane, and it is just the beginning of the story. If you want to stay ahead of every Rams update, you need to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell right now. Are the Rams about to shock the world again? Let's dive into the legendary impact this would have. Aaron Donald is a name that defines greatness in Los Angeles, and any conversation about adding a defensive tackle like Dexter Lawrence has to start with the standard he set for this organization. For years, we relied on that singular greatness to anchor our defense, but now we are looking at a future where we need to build a new wall of dominance in the trenches. Dexter Lawrence represents that next evolution of interior force that could carry the torch of excellence forward. When you think about what Lawrence brings to the table, it is that same ability to demand double teams on every single snap, freeing up everyone else to make plays. But here's the thing that really gets me excited as a fan. The Rams have always been a team that values elite individual talent over draft picks, and Lawrence fits that profile to a T. He is coming off a season where he was arguably the best interior defender in football not named Donald, and adding him would be like injecting pure adrenaline into our pass rush. The reality is that the Rams' defense is in a transitional phase, and landing a guy like Lawrence would bridge the gap between the legends of the past and the stars of the future instantly. It is about more than just filling a hole on the depth chart. It is about maintaining a culture of fear for opposing offenses. Can you imagine offensive coordinators trying to figure out how to block a guy who is 340 pounds but moves like a linebacker? It would be a nightmare scenario for the 49ers and the Seahawks. But we have to consider the cost because the Giants won't let him go for cheap, even if he is demanding a way out. This is where the aggressive nature of our front office comes into play. They aren't afraid to move assets for a proven commodity, and Lawrence is as proven as they come in this league. The conversation is shifting from if we should do it to how we can make it happen under the cap. The synergy between Lawrence's playstyle and our defensive scheme is so obvious that it feels like a match made in heaven. If the Rams can find a way to navigate the financial side of this, we aren't just talking about a good trade. we are talking about a move that defines an entire era of Rams football. This is the kind of move that keeps us in the Super Bowl conversation year after year, because you simply cannot win without winning the battle in the trenches. The context here is vital because the NFL is currently seeing a massive shift in how interior defensive linemen are valued and paid. Dexter Lawrence knows his worth, and after seeing other guys at his position get massive paydays, he is drawing a line in the sand with the Giants. For the Rams, this means we would not only have to trade assets, but also be ready to hand him the bag immediately. Is he worth it? Absolutely. When you look at the impact he had in New York, he was the heartbeat of that entire defense, and his absence would be devastating for them while being a massive gain for us. The impact on our current roster would be immediate. It would take the pressure off our younger edge rushers and give our secondary more time to react, because the quarterback would be under constant duress from the middle. Looking at the future, securing a player like Lawrence at this stage of his career gives us a 5-year window of elite play that you just can't find in the draft easily. This is a gamble, sure, but it is the kind of gamble the Rams have won on time and time again. We saw it with Jalen Ramsey, we saw it with Matthew Stafford, and now we could see it with Dexter Lawrence. The NFC is wide open right now, and the team that has the most physical and dominant front line is going to be the one standing at the end. My emotion as a fan is running high because I can see the vision. I can see Lawrence in the horns, tearing through double teams, and celebrating in the backfield at SoFi Stadium. This isn't just speculation. It is a logical move for a team that is built to win now and in the future. The Giants are playing a dangerous game by letting this go public, and if they don't fix it soon, the Rams are the exact kind of predator that will swoop in and take their best player. The league is watching, the fans are waiting, and the front office is likely already working the phones to see what the price tag looks like. This move would be a statement that the Rams are not going anywhere and that we are still the most aggressive, star-driven team in professional football. Everything is on the line with this one. At the end of the day, this isn't just about a trade request or a contract dispute. It's about the soul of the Los Angeles Rams and our relentless pursuit of greatness. We have built a reputation as a team that doesn't just participate in the league, but one that dictates the terms of the competition. Bringing in a player like Dexter Lawrence would be the ultimate confirmation that our window for a championship hasn't closed, it's being propped wide open. It signifies a commitment to the trenches and a promise to the fans that we will never settle for mediocrity. This potential move is the difference between being a good team and being a feared powerhouse once again. It's about continuing a legacy of defensive dominance that has defined us for years. But now I want to hear from you, the heart of this team. Do you think the Rams should go all in and trade whatever it takes to get Dexter Lawrence in a Rams uniform? Or is the price of a new contract and draft picks too high for our future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I'm reading every single one of them. Don't forget to like this video if you want to see Lawrence in LA and subscribe for the fastest updates as this story develops. This is a massive moment for our franchise, and the next few days could change everything for the Rams. We are watching history in the making, and the roar at SoFi might be about to get a whole lot louder. Stay tuned, because the Rams never sleep when there's a star on the move. Peace out, and as always, whose house? Rams' house!